This comes to us from Kotaku, so you guys already know that this is going to be a weird and cringe article that we're going to read. Could we be about to enter a skippable boss fight utopia? South of Midnight has shown it's possible without destroying the very fabric of the universe. So, people at Kotaku thinks that the games are too hard, that we should be able to skip the boss. I guarantee you these game journalists want to be able to skip hard bosses like Melania or Mesmer from Elden Ring is because it's too hard. This is stupid. A utopia for skipping boss fights. Yep. Yo, I don't want to fight a hard boss. Can I just press a button and beat the boss? That's stupid. This article basically shows exactly what is wrong with gaming journalists. Can't beat the boss? Skip the game. Skip the boss fights. There should be a difficulty slider for Elden Ring. It's too hard. This is absolutely insane. And this goes to show that these journalists aren't actual gamers. Now, am I a gamer? Not as much as I used to be, right? I used to play a lot more games. Now I'm more of fapping off. But but now, did I skip Mesmer? Did I wish I stopped playing the game? Look, I played Elden Ring. I beat Elden Ring. And then I went back to fight the optional boss that is Melania. I went to go fight the optional boss. Took me several hours to beat her. And a bunch of basically, respecking, finding different items, finding different shields. Same thing with Black Myth Wukong. I beat the game, went back, and fought the hardest optional boss in the game. It took me 6 hours to beat him. I was there for a fucking long ass time. But I beat him. I guarantee you, these games journalists don't even know who Shen Erlong is. And that character, you can actually fight Shen Erlong in Black Myth Wukong? Yeah. Yeah, Cuphead, yep. For me, I never played Cuphead. I do have Cuphead, but the thing is, I think the game would be sufficiently difficult. But the thing is, I used to play a shit ton of platformers when I was a kid. So, like shooting platformers, bullet hell, quarter munchers, like Sunset Riders, put it on super hard mode, playing Metal Slug 3, Metal Slug 2, Metal Slug 1 at the arcades, spending fucking $10 on the game and barely getting past like the third or fourth stage. But yeah, these are the people, these games journalists are not gamers. They are complainers. They are losers online. And the fact that South of Midnight was their example is very, very telling. Because I want to see what South of Midnight. I want to see. Oh, this is white. I had a white version of this on, man. The white version. Oh my God, that's so bright. Holy fart and balls. Oh my God, hold on. I need to put this on the white list. Oh, thank God. All right. South of Midnight. How well is this game doing? How many people are playing this game right now? Why would you use this as your example? Nobody played this game. What are you doing? You can't even crack 2,000. You can't even crack 2,000, and you're using this terrible game as an example of what we should be doing moving forward. That's insane. Now, if we're talking about like something like You can skip fighting one of the bosses in Baldur's Gate 3. You can skip fighting Mesmer. You can skip fighting a specific boss in, I don't know, Refantasio. You can skip a boss in Black Myth Wukong. This ain't it. This is your example. This is absolutely stupid, right? You're using this as an example, right? So here are basically in a gaming world increasingly built out of Souls-likes, where the concept of boss battle becomes the central game mechanic. Some of us, people who are not gamers, have been left behind because we suck dick. I have always hated boss fights. And while I have no interest in convincing anyone else to agree with me, I have a long lamented the lack of accommodation made for the many people who are already with me. You mean the people who suck at playing games? But sniff the air, something's changing. Recently loaded South of Midnight, interested to check out such a gorgeous looking game that nobody's playing. Gorgeous game, 118 people playing this game right now. The gorgeous game. Maybe Carmelo Anthony's playing this game right now. And was immediately delighted by the art and extraordinary performances in cutscenes. But then, as Zach warned us, I was immediately underwhelmed by the repetitive combat. However, while idly fiddling through the game settings to see what, I saw a toggle I absolutely was not expecting. Boss skip option. What a pussy ass bitch. What a, oh my god, pussy ass bitch. Man, this guy is John Walker? I don't think so. This guy is probably not even a man. This is crazy. Man, imagine getting a hard-on for boss skip option. That's wild, man. In 2017, I wrote one of the most controversial articles of my career, a piece of which I've received literal death threats alongside hundreds of more banal insults and wishes my imminent demise as someone hardened by Gamergate. Oh, I'm a Gamergate survivor. I'm a survivor. It takes quite a bit for the scale of backlash to take me by surprise. And while I knew it would piss some people off, I didn't predict the volume. I wrote an article suggesting that boss fight should be skippable. Imagine my temerity. Which game? Which game? Breath of the Wild? What other game? What other game? So, Dark Souls? Metroid Prime? What? Look, it doesn't matter anyways. It doesn't fucking matter. This person is such a bitch. This is fucking insane. There are so many games I've never seen the end because I just wasn't physically capable of completing the later bosses. I've never finished a Metroid Prime game. then how can you write an article about the game if you haven't finished it? Right? A lot of people are saying, for me, it's like, oh, how can you review a Marvel movie or the entire MCU if you haven't watched the entire MCU? I was like, bitch, I'm not a critic. This is not my job. A game journalist, however, this is your job. This is your job to play the game and review the game. Not play the first 2 chapters of Black Myth Wukong. There are other games I've been enjoying so much, but I had to abandon because every so often there would be a difficulty spike of such enormous disproportion that I'd eventually lose all the will to try. And to be abundantly clear, this isn't just about my incompetence. It is about your incompetence, and you suck. Okay? There are obviously a billion boss fights I've successfully completed. Tetris does not count. Playing Tetris, playing Pong does not count. All right? Farmville or Cafe World does not count. All right? It just doesn't, okay? Animal Crossing also doesn't count. For me and the millions of others, there are mostly tedious obstacles that get in my way of enjoying the rest of the game. So it struck me, why not just let me skip them? Why lose out? Well, it turns out the answer of the question in 2017 was very angry people. For reasons never quite comprehensive, elucidated, my being able to carry on playing a game I like without finishing a specific fight causes them great personal injury. No. I think it just shows how much of a pussy you are. How much of a bitch you are. Oh, this game is too hard. Make it easier. Where's the difficulty slider? To skip over a boss is, I was told, both a moral and physical affront, and the addition to such an option would very likely destroy the video games, if not all of society. I think they are not wrong. It's because if you actually respect the game that you bought and the game that you're playing, you would play it as how the developers would want you to play the game, right? This is what the developers want, right? So I have never played Sekiro, and I know Sekiro is one of the hardest games of the Blood Souls, the Soulsborne's game, Blood Souls. I believe I saw the gorilla fight, and I'm like, holy shit, that was a hard fight. And then the surprise comes at the end. You're like, what? What? Right? So yeah, it is a very hard fight. You have to get through it, but it is by design. All right? If the game was okay, I used to be a game tester. All right? I used to be a game tester, and there is actually a bug in a drop-down menu for what type of bug this is. There is a difficulty option. There is a difficulty option. If the game was so hard, the QA testers can't beat the game, then they would bug the game. They would actually write up a bug for it, right? But it wasn't, because they're actually the gamers. QA testers are gamers. Journalists are not, right? And yet, in the month since South of Midnight released, I have yet to witness a collapse of humanity. In fact, I've heard only very few people talking about it. The reason why, when the month of South of Midnight released, the collapse of humanity did not happen is because nobody played the game. Nobody played the game. That's why the fall of humanity has not occurred yet. You dumb bitch. Oh my god. Oh. And you're talking about a Nintendo game. You can't beat. Now here's the thing. I never played any Metroid Prime game. I might actually pick up Metroid Prime and play all of them right before the release of the newest one that's coming out later this year. I heard it's hard. I want to play it. I heard everyone really, really likes that game, right? But I've beaten Elden Ring and the DLC. Those are very, very hard games. I don't think that's going to be as hard as Metroid Prime. This is not the very first time a game has offered a way to pass tough spots. A pair of new big games have had options to let you skip entire missions. You should fail them enough. Red Dead Redemption 2, Days Gone, for instance. So basically, this person failed the game so much. Yo, this game's hard, man. Fails so much. Oh my god, bro. Look. I don't need to read the rest of the article to know that this guy is a piece of shit. Look, just get good at playing a video game. How about you stop writing articles on Kotaku, a gaming article, I guess, gaming news website. This is so stupid. And I hope that the new Souls game that's coming out for the Nintendo Switch 2, the Duskbloods, don't have a difficulty slider, because you just gotta get good at the game. Stop being a pussy. Just be good at it. This is absolutely insane, man. Why would you want to skip the food at boss fights? Exactly. Why?